Welcome back to the Future Sport Festival in Budapest, and what a game to start off the first one. Not what we expected. You guys were both leaning toward NIP. We thought Mirage had been problematic for Virtus.pro. Jacob, you were the first to say that NIP could steal the map away, but they didn't seem to.
No, they never fail to disappoint, do they? And that's maybe one of the biggest problems with NIP right now, that they really don't play great Counter-Strike. It even started out okay. I think VP won the pistol that went up 3-0. To be expected. Then NIP took charge of the game. Rest had some crucial rounds. Plopsky seemed to be playing well, and those two were the players that we highlighted. They need to play well if NIP want to have a chance. The problem for them was that those were the only two players for NIP that actually got some work done. Forrest didn't have a great game once again with the AWP. Doesn't seem to be that comfortable with it. Get Right went missing. Lekra went missing. We're facing VP who were playing a decent game of Counter-Strike, I'd say, then simply wasn't enough.
Yeah, and I was just looking at the stats. 3 players sub 60 ADR, poor ratings for both, I should say not both, but all three, Get Right, Lekro, and Forrest. And Get Right was one that we were highlighting, saying he looked motivated in this event, trying to prove something perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, most definitely. He has a lot to prove. He has a career if he wants to play after if the NIP stint is over. We don't know that, but if it is, he has to look forward to, obviously, what's going to be beyond this time. But very lackluster, obviously. You lose in that fashion, and the rounds that you were winning were based off of clutches as well. There were a couple of 1-on-3s that gave NIP a lifeline in this game, and I think that's just I think that's like the cherry on top of the cake.
Can I just say, before we move on from Mirage, PHR from VP.
Yeah, I was going to get to that.
He had 5 kills, he had 14 deaths, and he was ending on an ADR at 21. I think that without knowing it, people can probably look it up. I don't think I've ever seen such a low ADR in a win against anyone ever before. NIP were basically playing 5 against 4 against Virtus.pro, a team that have done absolutely nothing the past 12 months, and still losing 16-9 on a map like Mirage. Simply unacceptable.
Driving the point home with Jacob 101. Yes, I think that's absolutely true. Yeah. You really did touch on that one properly. On the other side of that, you've got to give Mihu and Veggie a lot of credit.
Sure.
I thought their retakes on the B site looked excellent. We saw one particular round. I think it was, if it wasn't the 14th round for VP, it was the 15th, where inside the smoke, Mihu gets 2 entering back into the site, and Veggie cleans up. They looked great. They looked like a lovely 1-2 punch.
Sure. I mean, it kind of goes both ways, right? We saw a couple of them also where they managed to just mow down NIP as they were coming to the bomb site, but that's usually the case of them obviously positioning themselves to have multi-kill opportunity, but at the same time, you have to kind of point the finger at NIP not doing good enough job with utility to make it chaotic, make it hard for the CTs to have those crossfires.
Nuke, one of the legendary win streaks for the NIP early days. We're talking very early,
way back,
before Jacob was even relevant. But now we go against Virtus.pro, also a team not as familiar with it lately. It's NIP's choice. Where are we leaning?
Leaning towards NIP still, despite them being absolutely,
great.
Not performing well on Mirage. I think that's the only map that VP is actually playing at a high level, so you can give them that one excuse if you want to give them an excuse. NIP right now is 100% win rate the past 3 months on Nuke. 3 of those is, I believe, online against some low-tier opponents, whereas the last one is actually quite interesting. That was against Na'Vi during Moscow, and that looked pretty convincing for my taste. So despite Na'Vi obviously playing with Zeus for one last time, and they weren't really, there at Moscow, they still lost to NIP 16-9, I believe. So they as a team, know how to play Nuke, whereas for Virtus.pro, not a map we see them play often. So again, if NIP have any respect for themselves, they should be winning this one.
Yeah, we saw VP play this against Tricked earlier in this tournament, and it wasn't a pretty sight. There was rounds where VP were putting themselves in winning positions, but they still somehow managed to find ways to lose like 4-on-2 situations on a CT side of Nuke, for example. So not a great outlook for VP on Nuke.
Yeah, just to go back to the Moscow thing, I'm kind of with you with that one, Jacob. Obviously, last game for Zeus, they're best of ones. Sometimes you have a bad day or a slow start. It's hard to recover from that.
I think for me, for NIP, looking at it, obviously how the major was a mess, but then in Moscow, they played best of ones in various different maps. They played Overpass, they played Nuke, they played Dust 2, all these different maps, and they actually played relatively competitively. So coming into this, you kind of expect to be showing better face.
It seemed like the major was always going to be destined for hard times. You had the scandal, if you want to call it that, breaking in the news, people exposing some issues within the organization.
5-week break all of a sudden as well for the team.
5-week break, Get Right potentially leaving, the send-off in Cologne, Golden stand. The ingredients were not there, but you're right, chance for recovery. It starts again now. They've got to shut down Virtus.pro. They've got to level the series at 1 if they want Mouse Sports tomorrow. Budapest, get ready. Map number 2, Nip's choice. We go back over to Jason Kaplan and Tom Biz.
Well, we'll see. PHR, yes, he had 21 ADR in that victory, and it was very low. The only time I think I've ever seen it was any game Pimp ever won. So as we move into this map, hopefully he's not going to kill me, and luckily he didn't hear it. This is going to be an interesting one. I can't wait to see how Nuke's going to break down. Yeah, we had NIP take down Na'Vi in a very convincing win, as they said on the desk. How is it to come down to today against Virtus Pro when they've already struggled so heavily on Mirage? I think that's still up in the air.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest sort of worry when you look at this matchup is that they really did underperform in the last map. Even the sort of player who's ill sort of had his moments, but everybody else just seemed to be out of it. Either way, we are into our pistol round. It is going to be NIP starting off on the T side, and they are running right in towards this A site. Snacks looking to try and hold them back, and he has managed to survive. In fact, he gets away with a kill. The CT side once again kicking this off in the pistol round. Back to back, they're trying to keep it flawless.
What?
And they do it once again. How did Snacks survive?
2 pistol rounds back to back from Mirage second half to this one, and they didn't lose a single player. I don't know how the hell Snacks didn't die from there. There were so many people looking at his angle, but you got to get credit to Snatchy coming around, dropping down, and helping him out. Picking up kill after kill after kill, and Virtus Pro start off with a bang.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know how they managed to keep that so dominant. Those faster plays are so much more difficult to lock down, and well, we get the same round by, of course, from NIP. It's absolutely nothing. They're going to try and overwhelm some of these players on the outside. They've managed to wrap around. Dink onto Snatchy at least. That could be an AUG hitting the deck already. One player dropped. It's quickly traded back. Veggie looking to get off to a strong start once again, and Plopsky, only one left alive. Just a singular kill. A fast round for NIP as now we want to see them get the buyback in.
Well, I think I know who the crowd's cheering for in this match.
Is it the Ninjas?
Ninja Pro. No, definitely Virtus Pro. This is why I don't make chants. This is why I'm probably never going to be casting again after this. But we see the BAP coming in out of NIP. They have the SG and have the 4 AKs. I can respect the aggressive pistol round start, rushing straight through Hut. Did not work out. Second round, they were able to get 1 kill. Hopefully in round 3, they'll be able to take more than just that one. And already some early damage onto Lekro on about 66 HP.
They're going to go for the fast outside take, gain a lot of map control. Battle kicking off with Snacks doing a lot of damage, but he can't finish his dinner. Plopsky's going to be the one to get that opening pick. And in the meantime, he's almost acted as some sort of a distraction, as we've already seen 2 players cross. Make it down secret. There hasn't really been much of a rotation from the CT side. They're just holding on to their outside spots. I'm actually surprised by this. The only problem is whether or not the remaining Ts can actually get around from here, or if it's going to have to be Get Around Forest to make some sort of play to get in behind these remaining players.
Honestly, Virtus Pro should know that people have been able to sneak by. You can see the man over towards ramp. That's going to be Mihu, who does get 1.
How?
Not sure. The ramp room left completely open. It looks like Virtus Pro might use it to their advantage. Lekro comes in, trying to open things up on the upper side, but Snatchy's going to respawn. Down to just Veggie and Snatchy together in tandem against the 3 remaining players of NIP.
Yeah, at least thanks to that kill that came in onto Mihu, it does open up the ramp, so that means the bomb has been rotated over. Rez, that's a messy spray. He actually doesn't get away with the kill here. Will rectify it moments later, and Veggie just going to be saving the AK. He can't do anything here. There's no possibility for a 1 versus 3, so early doors once again. We're going to have NIP getting back onto the board, and on this map, it's far more important. This is the T side of Nuke. This is not where you want to be having your slow starts. This is not where you want to have the money slipping into the hands of the CT side. Instead, they get the round early, and now, well, the prospect of a purchase for VP is a questionable one.
Well, that round was basically won off the fact that Snacks wasn't able to hit his shot. And then the fact that you had 2 players be able to sneak through, 1 towards ramp and catch up players on the rotation. So even though they did win the round, it wasn't necessarily a clean round that they won outright. And you can see, yeah, Plopsky should not have won that trade. Snacks should have had him dead to rights. And again, that kill from Rez, you see just catching them on the rotation, shutting down any chance that Virtus Pro could really stop this bomb.
Again, we're going to see the pace picked up. PHR defending the site. It's already Plopsky to get an opener. PHR will just be hidden in the backlines. The Molotov actually extinguished, and he's able to get 2 kills. Enough to at least turn this round on his head. Lekro will be able to get another one. And bear in mind, the weaponry's not great for the remaining 2 players. That nade, though, could do enough. And just look at the rotation coming in from Snacks. He's expecting get right. And that leaves it all onto Lekro. He has at least been able to get himself a bomb plant. It seems like there's a little bit of confusion coming in from this CT side. Do they not know it's down below?
Well, they don't even have a kit. They don't. They definitely don't know it's down below. It is down below. And I think now they're going to realize it. So
no.
Either they're going to rush down and go for it, or they're going to have to give it up. 10 seconds left with no kit in their hands. And NIP will take the round. Sneaky play out of Lekro.
Yeah, they just didn't spot that he managed to make it down. And while Virtus Pro are going to be kicking themselves about that one, they did so well in the round itself, and the rest of the team were brute forcing in towards that A side. But Lekro, with the quick brain play to take it down to the site below, gets them their second round on the board. And while CT side at least managed to keep a couple of weapons, again though, we have the question of, do they actually purchase into this one? Do they buy off the back of those 2 guns? Sure, only 1 man survived for the T's, but they're actually going to opt to take the hit, try and win the round with the 2 AKs they saved.
So 1 AK over towards ramp, the other putting on Snatchy, watching the inside sight. NIP, I think, realizing that there's not much money on the side of Virtus Pro, have been able to carefully and transition back over towards Secret and work their way down. Snacks is going to have to pull off a hero play here with this AK. Maybe even Snatchy can throw a spanner in the works over from Vents. But even knowing they have the advantage here, NIP taking things so slow. Rez, again, might be in the perfect position to capitalize. We'll expect the second. Well, he's going to see the gun. He's going to know he's there, and Snatchy's going to fall. That's 1 AK out of the hands of Virtus Pro. Trying to deny Veg from a chance from rescuing it. Great job by NIP.
Yeah, they've taken pretty much all control. Rez is even going to survive. What a great round from the Ninjas. A couple of weapons saved over that could have caused them some problems, but instead, they keep things nice and clean. 5 players alive. They secure their economy for the next couple of rounds, but there is now a purchase coming back in. This is where VP can start to cause them trouble.
Make their way into round 6. Lekro currently on 4 kills. There will be a man. Snacks yet again, hiding inside a garage. Successful in round 2 with this, though he was up against just pistols. But NIP going with the standard, playing out Secret. Maybe trying to penetrate a weakness in Virtus Pro that they found. And Snacks will hear them dropping down. So Mihu is going to respawn by moving towards ramp, getting down that. And NIP going to take their time to just gain some ground, gain some control here on the lower bomb site.
That's interesting. No smokes down, and Lekro, he's even going to try and take the fight here. This is a ballsy play, and it doesn't work at all. 3 quick kills. Make that a 4th. Mihu again, just locking down a site. Leaves Forest alone 1v5. It is not happening. Look at the rotation from Veggie. Makes that one as easy as you like. And well, a clean round to a clean round, but different sides of the coin.
If I'm not mistaken, Veggie actually opted to go for the AK over the SG.
Yeah, I think I saw him do that in the last map as well. I think it's surprising, but at the same time, if that's his preference, that's his preference.
Yeah.
It also depends if he's still playing aggressive around that A site. I think that probably does work better for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't want to be caught between the scope and not the scope. You just want to be going for those raw battles, and it's definitely something that you can sort of get caught up in. I think that's something that players do. The players like Chris J, who use it so well, they actually sort of like, they basically use it in a way where they don't even remember the scope's there until the exact right moment. Like, they just use it like any normal rifle. Whereas there are definitely moments where you can be caught between going, oh, do I scope here? Do I just try and spray him down? And then you're dead because of it.
Well, we're about to get back into the game. A little bit of a timeout coming in for Virtus.pro to decide what they need to do. They have all the weapons they need, though, in this round, and we can see on NIP's side that they are definitely lacking quite a bit. Like a Galil, an Ump. I wonder, though, if they're going to continue to go towards a secret play, because yes, it's worked out in the 3 rounds that they've won. But now Virtus.pro have been able to shut this down, basically off the back of me, who connected on quite a few shots. I haven't seen much of a ramp play out of the Ninjas. And of course, we saw how the upper play went in the pistol round. Not able to get a single frag. And look at this confidence coming out of the VP side. He knows they've been going outside quite a few times. And why not take advantage of this? Pick up a kill or 2. But IP have adjusted, though. Changing up that strategy.
But that could be a problem for them. Because in this normal case, throwing all those nades down, it causes rotation, but because Snatchy's so aggressive, they already have the information that no one's gone this way.
He's rotating behind them right now, actually.
They've got the positioning. It's absolutely perfect. Now he can come in with the flank. He's telling all the information, but Forrest, he's got his spidey senses tingling. Mihu, though, sprays down to a third, almost to his name. Get Right's managed to get into the vents. If they can get down to the site, which they will be able to, rotations could be held. Even still, though, it looks like the CTs are going to follow them down.
They don't have the greatest weaponry, though, to fight from ramp in towards site. Get Right's got to have to hold this kind of close angle, and maybe change it up to get towards window with the Ump. Necro with the AK and a bunch of HP. He needs to start connect these shots. We even have the rotation of PHR coming around. Being tagged up, trying to Molotov them off. You can see Popsky trying to bait him out a little bit. 15 seconds left to go, and Virtus.pro are going to have to pick up the pace. They have to start to push in, and Lekro gets the first. He gets the second as well. Might have won this round here for the Ninjas in Pajamas. Plopsky closes it out. NIP on a shoddy by. Even with the flank coming in out of Snatchy, they take the round.
I like that from Lekro. He also uses the Molotov to sort of force them to peek into the other angle. Like it's really difficult to fight that when he knows exactly where you're going to be, and a big round coming in from him. Again, that's 2 rounds now that he really has stepped up big. That kill from Forrest as well, like the timing to turn around was flawless. I don't know if he heard something or if it was just sixth sense, but whatever it was, it wins the round and stops any sort of crazy flank from Snatchy.
No smokes, just rushing straight out into the open, and they catch Snatchy on his pants down, and they get the initial kill. That was a big player to dispose of, considering he did have the AUG. Necro, in the meantime, he was going to take down the Veggie. So NIP off to a phenomenal start. 4 rounds, already 2 kills in this one. Virtus.pro, if they can't come back, they'll be saving into the next.
Yeah, that looked like an adaptation. I think that might have been just a quick call from Lekro, because he took the fight earlier when he went outside without smokes and knew exactly where Snatchy was. So instead, this time, he brought some friends with him. Made sure they at least would have got a 1-for-1 trade there, because he didn't have any support the other few times they pushed. So it's actually just a smart play to get them an opening pick. Sure, it's not an overall brain play for the whole round, but it starts things off. I don't understand. I don't know how Mihu seems to get kills out of these situations, but he does still bring things back, and Snacks. Is this angle going to be checked? It needs to be. I'm not sure it will be, and they're going to be back at the round. Another kill in for VP. Things slipping away. Mihu again, another kill to add to his tally, and Plopsky's low as well. This is starting to look possible for the Poles.
Come down to PHR and Snacks, and there we go, PHR, 3 kills. Gets him when he needs him. The problem is Force has so many angles to check, and Snacks sees him, and Snacks gets him. Virtus.pro gonna go back to 4 apiece, and more importantly, keep themselves off of having to save in the next round.
That was one of those rounds that NIP never should have lost. They get a 2-man advantage for basically nothing.
Well, yeah, Mihu should never have gotten that kill at ramp.
No, I don't know how that happened. And then obviously Snacks just using the space created to gain some positioning, but that is a round that NIP can't afford to lose, and it has given a way back into this, a fast play once again as they look to barrel into this A site. It didn't go well last time, but this time they've eliminated Veggie within the first few seconds.
They've got their presence on inner. Gonna be re-smoking this up. They still have a couple of more smokes to go, so they could hold off main for such a long time and force them to run through the smoke. A couple of MAC-10s to play on the edge of it, even a Deagle for Force. And it looks like Virtus.pro have already given up on this round, realizing there's no chance to fight back into it. We're gonna let the bomb explode. And NIP will take the lead.
I actually like this decision from VP. Like, that's one of those rounds where one of your players is already low, you've lost complete control, you know that all 5 players from the Ninjas are just going to be waiting on that site. Your economy's in tatters already after having a close couple of rounds. Don't risk it all for that. It's just not worth it. That's not how Nuke works. Most of the time, you need to get these streaks on the CT side, and if they were to lose all their guns, you'd basically be guaranteeing like 6 or 7 T rounds, which is definitely not what you want to be giving to NIP without even your chance to respond. So this gives them at least a better position. I'm not really a fan of the fact that Veggie wasn't even dropped a gun. I get that Snatchy wants to make sure he has extra money for the AWP later, but giving him an MP7 with no armor seems like a mistake.
Seems like Veggie's trying to make the best of what he's been given. I guess I should say what he's bought. And Snacks, oh man. If only that nade went a little bit further.
If it rolled like the bomb does.
Yeah. And again, the smoke's coming through, so they've gotten the transition towards Secret. This time they said, go into Garage. They need to hit some big shots for us. Already been spotted out. Going towards Heaven. Rez sneaking through the door, gets one. Luckily, Snacks gets the first before he does get killed off. And the MP7 gets him a kill. Thing is, he's gonna need to pick up that gun. Oh, Snatchy. Too easy for him. And NIP have 2 rifles.
Oh, he gets caught out by PHR. He was so focused on Snatchy below. This is why the save was definitely worth it. And again, it seems like things start off well. Lekra is going to be managing to at least cross, but they know exactly where he is. Still wins the battle versus Snatchy, but Snatchy was low. The rest of the players are healthy and just looking to try unlock Lekra into this position. Doesn't have the time really either, and Veggie is going to close things out. He gets 2 kills with no armor. Like, you can't really fault the man.
Big brain play out of Snatchy, realizing Veggie would be fine. So he can save for the op if he wants it, and he's going to be going for it in this round.
I think if that's the case, then he has more trust than most relationships do.
Relationship goals right there. So into round 11, Snatchy for the first time going to have the op in hands and being able to watch on the outside position where he's struggled a little bit, been caught out in his aggression. Again, NIP going for their standard smokes, but not standard peaks, as Get Right does fall.
And we finally get to see what we wanted to see, that AWP into Snatchy's hands, and it benefits them once again. They're going to be pushing into the hands of the other man who has been a problem for the Mihu once again, and this is a crossfire between him and Snacks. Even Snatchy chimes in with another shutdown round. Forest left in a 1v5. I feel like I've said that more than once throughout this series. And I can't say I believe, a minute left, but that bomb is in one of the filthiest places it could ever be.
And PHR just spotted his feet too. Yeah, there you go. Veggie gonna close it out. 6-5 back for Virtus.pro. Again, Snatchy, he's been doing some serious work on the outside position, whether it's the AUG, the SG, or the AWP. And NIP, they have no money to spend. They're gonna have to save in this round. This is looking unfortunate times for the Ninjas.
Yeah, not the sort of round you want to be seeing within the middle of the half, a chance for the Polish side to make even more cash, which they got a flawless round in the last, so if they go into things now and get another one, that'd be fantastic. Nice shot from Snacks. Not much on the other side, and they are just going to be challenging.
Yeah, there you go. Flawless round for Virtus.pro. Snatchy picking up 2, Snacks picking up 2. And unfortunately, as we talked about PHR, having 0 kills for a good period of time, unfortunately, Get Right's only on 1 in his first 12 rounds. And I mention that just for the fact that Get Right's been such a key player in them having success in this tournament.
Yeah.
And if he's not playing well at the moment, that's not a good sign for NIP, who are already down 0-1 in the map. And NIP, speaking to them, going to rush straight through. No smoke to block off the Molotovs. They're going to burn down, and they're going to lose their heads as Veg is hitting his shots. And NIP, well, they'll get 1 on Electro, but 1 in done. And Virtus Pro secure a first half lead.
Yeah, this is a problem. Like, that seems to be their go-to strategy at the moment. Just, okay, we've got to buy back. Let's just try running in. And I don't like it.
Well, they haven't even gone down vents from this. They haven't, like, rushed people down vents to go for a lower hit. They're committing to the upper position.
That's not the problem, though. Their outer control has been very good. Yeah. Like, they've managed to take control. They've managed to get to secret, no problems. There's been no challenge there. Some of the time, there's been absolutely no one even on the B site by the time they get to the site. Then you have the actual wraparound as well as a possibility, where you can have the smokes that they've been throwing in towards Mini. Like, that's where they really have a lot of their success. So the fact that a lot of the time when things go wrong, they have to go back to pistols, and then they go in with a buy, that their go-to is just run into a crossfire, which I think they've beaten once. I don't understand.
Well, NIP need to go to the drawing board, I feel like. A little bit of a timeout coming in. They need to figure out what they can do, and they do have a scout for Get Right. Maybe he's favoring his chances to go up against Snatchy on the outside. But credit to him, to Snatchy, to actually change up his position. He got caught out being aggressive too many times. Instead, more inclined to sit back passive. Doesn't want to give up an early man advantage to NIP. But look what they have. What, 3 Deagles, a scout, and an AK? I know they can do a lot with little, but the question is, are they asking for too much? Mihu can get tagged for about 17 points of health. And Get Right, he's looking for that 1v1. He's looking for that aim battle. If he wanted 1v1s, should have played in the tournament yesterday. But that's not happening here. Snatch is not even given really the opportunity for it. He does get the tag, but again, Snatch is going to win out in the trade. The op is better than the scout.
Yeah, not a lot of time. And considering they have like that hero AK, they haven't really been doing too much with it. You want to see Lekro playing that sort of entry fragger role, but instead he's quite far back. Plopsky looking for the peak, and well, he does seem to have at least gained some ground. There goes Lekro. The first, the second doesn't quite get there, though. Forrest will be there to trade, and actually, he's got himself 2. There's an AWP. That's been his weapon of choice, at least as of the last month or so. But does he know PHR's here? He's just hiding in the site, waiting, lurking around. He's going to try and just play with Forrest, and he's not going to expect him. PHR hidden, and Virtus Pro on 9.
You know where the crowd's cheering for. Tom, in your opinion, 5 rounds for NIP, T-side Nuke. Do you think that's going to be enough for them to carry through onto the CT side? Or do you think they're going to need this last round at a minimum?
It can work. It definitely can. The only problem is they just seem so down in the dumps at the moment. Like, there's not too many like sort of smiles across the players. Like, if you go into this situation and you've been like sort of winning the last few rounds, it comes off as better, I guess.
Yeah.
Whereas if with VP sort of breaking back, like keeping them only getting individual rounds, like the only ones they really got were after breaking their economy a little bit early in the half. Other than that, it's been 5 in a row, and I think that's just going to sink in. Like, we could have had way more than this. Like, we were in an even scenario. I think they were even in the lead at one point. They were definitely 3-2. Yeah, they kept in the lead for a while. It's just the last few that they've gone back to the things that weren't working rather than the things that were. So, I don't know. Like, I hope to see the Ninjas get off to a good start in the next half, and then we have a battle on our hands. But at the moment, well, it's looking like the same again.
Again, the aggression we're seeing. Kind of Snatchy feeling like he could take this round on his shoulders and win it by himself. gonna have some company here, but
I think he heard the step.
I don't know how he gets more than one kill and escapes from here.
Well, there's the one. He definitely heard Lekro, but Lekro executes him. Looks to come around for a little bit more, but he never seems to be able to get that second. He's so close every single time. Even still, though, Plopsky is. And Rez now trying to use the space gathered, but Veggie, he's aware of it. He knows there's a player around that angle. He knows that Rez has been playing that same position for the majority of the match. A 10-5 half potentially there, but there's two players standing in the Polish way.
And one of those players has won so many clutch situations, and you can see him here on your screen. He's the one ready to pounce. Crouching Tiger, hitting Mihu. And he seems to have caught their scent. Definitely now is not gonna know as the window does break. The pounce gonna come in, Mihu lurking off to the side. He's gonna spot out the first, he's gonna get the shot, the bomb's now down. He can't get the spray under the second, but 15 seconds left, and Plopsy's gonna have to run for this one. He's gonna have to plant almost immediately here, as Virtus.pro expertly playing this one to a T, delaying as long as possible. The push comes in from the side, and Virtus.pro get the 10-5 first half.
That was perfect from PHR, because the only way that that round slips away is by him going aggressive, him trying to be a little bit more fancy, getting extra kills, maybe playing to what people are sort of complaining about, like, oh, he's not fragging enough.
Right.
He is the supported player within this team. And in that scenario, he just goes, okay, you know what? I'm going to wait for my team. I'm going to make sure that 100% we cannot lose this round.
Yep.
Because if he peaks with, say, 10, 15 seconds left, he dies, it's a 1v1, who knows what happens. They go in it when he's planting the bomb, there's absolutely no chance that they lose.
Well, we're going to see if NIP can come back from this Lekro. The only one close to even, 11-11 as he finished off. On the other side, everyone finishing with a positive scoreline. Snacks and Mihu actually tied at 14 apiece. Obviously, a lot of people out there want to see NIP perform, want to see them continue to pick up victories or try to pick up victories. Virtus.pro, I mean, this is not the VP we saw 2 days ago. This is not the VP we saw 3 days ago. This is a completely different team at the moment, and I think that's got to be even frustrating for them as a team to have such wild results where one day they can beat some of the best, other days they struggle against teams that they should be beating. The consistency is lacking within the team, I feel like.
The thing is they took a lot of time off. They took a lot of time off, came in on the first day, and nobody knew what to expect. If they now take this series, well, maybe people are going to take them more seriously. Like that's the biggest thing for them. They're very low within the rankings. It was mentioned already. I think that is based off just not playing. Like, that's how their HLTV rankings work, at least. Like, it's based off the last few months. If you don't play, you're not in the rankings. So that's how the Astralis didn't really become one of the, well, their sort of legacy, their streak ended. It's because they didn't play enough tournaments. So,
or in the big ones.
If this is going to be VP coming back into the scene, this would be one hell of a way to do it.
Well, obviously, if they do win this match, they still have mouse sports to play through. That brick wall.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if say everything goes to plan elsewhere, that means they would have had to go through NIP, mouse sports, and then probably MIBR. Like,
that's a way. That's a comeback
toughest
right
route.
there.
That is the toughest route through the tournament. So there can't really be doubt within other people that they are back within if that's the route they take. Of course, they are still at the first hurdle. So it's impossible to really sort of have this dream of VP coming back into the scene. Although I'm sure there's many people, not just me, the crowd as well, hoping that that is the case. There's
Here we
a massive
go.
Polish fan base out there.
A lot in the crowd, a lot at home. Ladies and gentlemen, the second half of our second map is kicking off. Virtus.pro on the T side, NIP on the CT. 6 rounds for Virtus.pro to close this out in a 2-0 sweep that we never really expected. NIP have a long road ahead of them to just tie things up. One mistake could cost them the match. And Virtus.pro are taking their time in this pistol round, trying to keep NIP on their toes.
It's a crucial one. This can be the difference between Virtus.pro maybe being even 2 or 3 rounds away from closing out the whole map, or the Ninjas being 2 or 3 rounds away from tying things up. So it's a big difference within this pistol at the moment. And you have to feel that if NIP win this, there's a massive chance they come back already. Rez kicking things off, but the trade is there from Snatchy. Forest still ready and waiting, but there's no decisive blow just yet within this round. Switching to that USP, taking some more control, taking the fights, in fact. This is something we've spoken about with VP. They're very aggressive. Mihu, oh, there was a hesitation for a moment. You had to feel like maybe he was going to take that.
Snacks actually try to go through door and get into vents at the start of the round to help alleviate pressure so they could push in towards lower. He got picked off by Rez. Now Mihu's going to try to do the same thing. The door actually opens up in his face, and he's wondering, oh, well, that just saved my life. If I hit that button a little bit earlier on, I could have been dead, but he's dead anyways. Get Right does get the kill, but they've gotten into the upper site. They got a player up high, they got a player down low. Which way is this round going to go? Is Lekro and Rez? They need this round for their team. The bomb being faked out. And here we go, 2-on-2.
Yeah, Rez has to do the majority of the heavy lifting as his teammate's pretty low. It's more just going to be the bait being taken, trying to give a little bit of extra space for them to push forward. Nice shot from Veggie, closing out the round. The pistol goes their way. The streak continues of 7 rounds in a row for Virtus Pro. The question is, can they stop the force buy? This is not the end just yet for the Ninjas. There's still more to do. The T side of this map is not easy. Throughout history, it's been one of the toughest sides of any map within the game.
Great mid-round call, by the way, we have to say, for Virtus Pro. After their strategy of trying to get Snacks down towards lower.
I know that feeling, man. I know that feeling.
Well, NIP do have the buy up. Just an MP9 for Get Right, pistols for the rest. No kit in their hands as well, so if the bomb goes down, they're gonna have to move swiftly. The Veggie's already gonna take force out of the fight. The smokes are down, it's gonna be hard to hit any shots through the smoke. Rez is trying. He's getting close, I think he actually tagged up Mihu there. But they've been able to make their way down towards lower. Snack's still gonna be, I think, causing a distraction over towards Vent, and Rez is finally able to get one, but one and done is all it's going to be. Oh. How do you win that Get Right? What a shot out of him on the Mihu, but it doesn't seem to matter because now Lekro's by himself against 3. He's in the right position. Oh. He has the right shot, but can he get the second? Well, I expect PHR to be there. And instead, I think they're just going to rotate back towards upper.
Yeah, right decision. They have the information of where Lekro is going to be, and they're going to completely reset this. The thing is, he's predicted it. However, if they don't peek him, this Deagle becomes null and void, and I like this from PHR. Still trying to use that gap. The board was put there for a reason, to try and stop people being able to deny that plant. Snacks also from the heavens is going to make things very difficult indeed. A Mach 10 picked up for Lekro, but he's going with the deke. He gets the shot again, but he can't finish off Snacks. They just about survive that force buy from the Ninjas. However, now the likelihood is the Swedes will have to save.
It's almost going to be the SMG stomping ground if they want to invest into those guns, knowing that NIP are going to have to save. Lekro getting so close to winning that round. And they're actually going to force up NIP. Realizing that they did so much damage. They killed off 4 players of Virtus Pro on their buy. So they're going to keep this constant battle, this constant war continuing for the next round.
Well, look at the buy coming out of Virtus Pro. They're trying to make money. They're expecting a save. They're thinking, why would the Ninjas invest into this round? They may stop themselves getting a buy if this doesn't work. Of course, they're going to be taking an eco instead. The Ninjas are bought up, and well, 3 Mach 10s. Mihu didn't even buy a gun. He's just gone with the P250. And the only rifle is in the hands of the quote-unquote support player. So there's definitely a possibility here for the Ninjas in pajamas, and well, if they can catch VP off here, they might be able to springboard their way back into this match.
Seems like Virtus Pro are going to leave this down to swift push. Blomsky connects the first shot. Not retreating away just yet as Virtus Pro do poise for control and ramp. Lekro, he has an opportunity. They were almost lined up for him. He only gets one. But at least he gets one kill either way. Problem is PHR with the AK has been able to take down Plopsky. 30 seconds left to go. NIP are starting to transition into this lower bomb site, but as we can see, it's going to be coming up at Forest. He's going to need much more than that to pull this off, and now they switch again. They're going to drop down towards lower. They realize Forest is there. This is going to be tough. They do have 2 smokes to cover up the bomb plant, though. There's no kit on the side of NIP.
Yeah, they've got all the information. The problem is, it's just not of where the remaining players are. Veggie's going hunting. He wants to try and kill off Get Right, and he'll succeed. Forrest left with a deagle. He might as well give this a go. 58 HP, and well, instead he decides to fall out of this round, maybe hoping to find one of the weapons that was dropped, but everything
There's
valuable.
None.
Yeah,
There's no. They only had 1 AK, so any
Exactly.
weapon you find is not going to be useful. It's going to be a MAC-10 at best case, or the P250 Mihu dropped earlier on when he switched to the deagle.
Yeah, as I was saying, everything valuable is about to be bought up in the next round. Still an extra $600 off the back of the MAC-10.
Go VP! Let's go VP!
Now we look towards
Let's go VP!
what is probably going to be the eco. And that's the problem. This was the risk that they took. It was that moment where you can understand why they did it. They're so far down at this point. They were trying to rectify things, trying to get themselves back in. Now they have to take the hit even later. Sure, you have Forest on a scout, you have a few deagles invested, but it's not looking good. Lekra still seems to get a kill every single time.
I think Snacks missed the entrance to the vent. I think he was trying to sneak his way down, but caught up in the smoke. He couldn't find the hole. Doesn't seem to matter, though, because they just get the free reign over ramp. They get free reign over lower. Lekra's got a deagle. We've seen what he could do with it before, but he's not able to hit his shots this time.
He's actually going to volley him out. Oh, another shot here. He's just actually getting so many deags here. This could be a problem. Forest also finds one with the scout. This was supposed to be the round where they saved. In fact, they might have saved themselves. Mihu. 1 versus 2. Desperately trying to bring this round back. He's got a player waiting just around the corner. Gets the kill again. Looks for the next and finds it as well. Mihu brings the round back once more. 20 kills to his name. 3 in the round. And maybe one that he shouldn't have had to save. But he managed to.
Well, luckily NIP were able to get the 4 kills so they can buy up in this round again, though it's still going to be missing a couple of key things they need. And Lekra with that deagle. Why use another gun, son? Look at you hitting these shots. Fortunately, he couldn't get the last kill that mattered there. And it looks like we're having a little bit of a timeout to talk some things over. 14-5.
Let's go VP!
This is a good-looking Virtus Pro, and I know a lot of people out there have been waiting to see Virtus Pro get back to the name that the Golden 5 set for them, the legacy they brought to Poland, started in 2014 in Katowice. Maybe Virtus Pro's time off they had has worked out for them.
And although, I feel like over the last couple of years, you would think their fan base would have diminished, but not here.
Yeah.
Not here. The Hungarian support is massive. There do seem to be 2 sides to this arena. The Ninjas filling the other. But they haven't had so much to cheer about. Now, luckily for them, they've at least been doing damage. The money over on that T side is not massive. The only problem is the 9-round deficit. And I'm pretty sure that's been in a row. That's the crazy thing about this match. VP have not lost a round in a long, long time.
I think 11 rounds, if I'm not mistaken. They finished off with 7. Well, let's see, NIP. Lekra brought some sort of life back in the team in the last round. But Veggie, again, takes down Force, opens things up over towards ramp. And for another round, Virtus Pro have the man advantage. Now a 2-man advantage. Rez not able to connect the shots. And Veggie, where were you a couple of days ago against Tricked?
This is madness. This was just and a purely aggressive round from the Ninjas. Just fight after fight taken and fight after fight lost. Plopsky gave them a lifeline in the previous half by winning a 1 versus 3. This one's going to be even tougher. A retake on Nuke. He gets the first, though. PHR is decimated. He's got Veggie and Snatchy to find. Can the youngster attempt to do this again? Veggie already homed in, ready. And Snatchy just below him. It's not happening. 15-5, 1 round away from Virtus.pro making it into the semifinals. As said, they've got a tough route ahead of them, but they might be about to start the journey here.
Well, it's last chance saloon for NIP. I saw an XM being picked up for Get Right. I see a Scout, I see a FAMAS. Not an ideal buy in anyone's world that plays Counter-Strike. Unless you're Tom Biz for the XM. But NIP need to do something magical here to be able to get back in the series. They have to win 10 rounds straight, or they're going to be going home.
A lot of expectations on their shoulders as always, but the phrase "Nip Magic" hasn't been heard for a while. They'll need to channel it here. As you mentioned, 10 rounds in a row. Already secret control has been gathered up by Virtus.pro. There hasn't been a round on this CT side for the Ninjas.
There's almost no utility to use for NIP either, so retaking is going to be almost impossible. They need to somehow maintain these sites, but they don't even have the weapons to do so. And Virtus.pro have already been able to sneak their way in down towards lower. Rez is pretty much cut off from the rest of his team. How are they going to come back from this?
Already, though. He does manage to get one, but could be the beginning of the end. The bomb's going to be transitioning towards the site. They've spotted the flank coming in, although the tags hit. Plopsky drops the bomb. There's still plenty of time to try and make a retrieval mission, but they don't expect Lekra again. He's just got this Deagle. He doesn't need anything else. Forrest with the Scout. Then again, right at the depths, it seems like the Ninjas are going to pull around, but Snacks is left.
No time
Try
left.
and fight this, and he can't do anything. It's not done yet. Again, the Ninjas seem to get around right when this match should be over. Because actually, look at the tease money. That's the worry. They've done so much damage over the last few rounds.
Maybe it's the chance for NIP to get some confidence. Built up for them. Their combo breaker round coming in. First round in the last 12. But they have still so much work to do. And maybe this man here on your screen will be the one to do it. He sees them crossing over. The Lion ready to pounce his prey. Lekro, truly a ninja as he closes his eyes and hits the shot onto Snatchy.
This is looking clean from Forrest as well. These are the rounds that can start to build them back up. As clean as you like. Snacks just hoping. Is he going to attempt the knife here? Doesn't look like it. They're not really looking for him. They don't really need to. They have control of the bomb. Eventually, Snacks will have to come to them. The question is, can he do any damage on the way? This was just a pure eco round. Nice and clean from Forrest. Those are the sort of shots you want to see him hitting in the next round.
As the Virtus.pro fans grow quieter, the Ninjas in Pajamas fans seem to rise up. But knowing that one mistake can cost them the match, that's going to be in the back of their heads as they continue on for this fight. 15-7, Virtus.pro back on the bye. And the pressure mounting.
Again, they've been able to get into secret without much of a response. Rez, though, just executes Veggie. He's gone, and Forrest just doing the same. There will finally be a trade, PHR, but the question is the damage already done here? Get Right just lurking on the A site. Plopsky still down here. They haven't cleared things out. They just dropped Forest, but instead, they're going to try and wrap around. It does seem like the Ninjas are aware of this potential. Get Right slightly misses the timing, though. And this has given them some space, at least, to escape. He's got to be careful he doesn't get caught out up above. That would be the biggest problem for them in this round, as they do look to get towards his position. And again, he's not quite spotting out. Luckily, Rez is there, though. So the information's been gathered. Snacks will gain one into the site. Another one, in fact. There's now Plopsky and Rez is all that stands between VP and that semi-final.
The bomb, though, that's going to be the big problem for Virtus Pro. It's dropped outside. They're going to have to fight their way out. They already spotted out on Rez, and Rez has made the call. Plopsky, the man to watch. He has one in his sights, and that's PHR going down. Snacks. Well, he didn't rescue the bomb. He's trying to pick it up now, but he has not a lot of time left to work with, and I think he's actually just going to save, and Ninjas in Pajamas will hold out yet again. Get an 8th round on the board.
Yeah, a few crucial plays. Rez starting to rise up to the occasion. We've heard that he's under the weather today, and it's been Lecro in this map, actually the one to sort of be the star of the show. A few moments from Forest, some glimmers of hope. We're going to see a pause called. You could understand it coming in from either side.
Thing is, the experience NIP have, you can never count them out. Yes, they're still down 7 rounds, but they've come back from worse.
Oh, definitely. Some of the greatest comebacks in history are off the back of this team.
Some of the greatest matches in history
Yeah.
on the back off this team.
But to count them out at any moment, that's where they win. Like, that's when they get you. The second you think it's done. Huge amounts of experience mixed with talent. That's been the changes they've made to this Ninjas roster over time. And the new look VP trying to send them home. But this round, not looking like the one to do it. Snacks with the hero AK, the rest of the team with just pistols. They look like they wanted to get an aggressive play in towards this A site, but it's going to be denied. The mid-round call needed a change to the initial strategy. In fact, though, Snacks is still just going to be trying to fight this. Rez spotting him out. Both players taking a little bit of damage, and in fact, it's actually Get Right managing to do the most in this round so far. Obviously, it's not really the critical player. It's Snacks, the one that can turn this round, but even still, it would be lovely to see Get Right just get a few kills onto the board, and he's going to get the bomb for free. Of course, it flies forward. And that should be the round locked for the Ninjas.
Get Right rising to some glory here as he has the 4 kills. Not going to get the ace, but that's what we need to see out of GTR. He's been quiet over the course of this match, but he's starting to show up. 9 kills, 4 of them in that last round.
Well, he's a player that definitely puts his heart and soul into this match, so that could be seen as a bit of a pick-me-up. And while if Get Right gets even close to what he can do, then this round is already a victory, but we'll see. Snacks this time, because of the saved weapon, is going to be left onto a UMP. He has been playing around the vents quite a bit. We're going to see the smoke falling in. It's looking like they might just try for some sort of A take. The thing is, though, the counter utility means they'd have to try and push through the smoke, and Rez is just waiting on the other side. Get Right is going to kick things off yet again. They're going to have to fall back. These A attempts are just failing miserably, at least for now. Rez just waiting patiently. He's expecting re-aggression here from Virtus Pro. I'm not really surprised at this point.
Get Right waiting to receive. Gets the first, and again, sends them packing, sends them running back. Eventually, he does get killed off, and Forrest with an AWP, playing shotgun. NIP on 10.
He's getting into it now. This is what we want to see. 5 5 rounds in a row for the Ninjas in Pajamas. It'll be Virtus Pro who are starting to sweat. They had this in the bag, but we're starting to see the wake up, the rise of the Ninjas in Pajamas. Everybody, well, get right, getting into it. The others trying to stay calm, but he's the one that you need to see. And once again, it's just going to have to be pistols for Virtus Pro. They are just getting rounds on and off.
Virtus Pro have been on 15 for such a long time. The frustration must be mounting of how they just cannot close this out. But at least they have pressure on their side. The fact that they can just rush somewhere, they can catch them off guard, switch up the pace, and one mistake from NIP will give them the match, will give them the Mouse Sports semifinal. We're now back into our 26th round. Just pistols for Virtus Pro. And Forrest just gets a collateral on the outside. And a third with the Deagle. I think you have to start getting a little bit worried if you're VP here. Forrest is showing up on 21 kills. Get Right has warmed up into this match. Electro's been hitting Deagle shots all day.
Yeah. These are the two players you want to start seeing.
Plopsky again with the steal of the ace.
Might be doing it on purpose at this point. Got to pad those stats. It's down to 4. 6 rounds in a row for the Ninjas. The NIP chants start to rise within the stadium. They were silent. That is disgusting, by the way. That's absolute filth. 2 through the smoke. Here we go. There's a buy on either side. We've got the AWP in for Snatchy as well. A potential counter, but he's going to be going aggressive early in this round, but the smokes will deny him. The utility there for the Ninjas at this point. In the earlier rounds, you have to remember, they had half buys. They had mixed bags of SMGs and scouts. They win 1, and that was enough to kick off this streak. Virtus Pro have not beaten their buy once. The thing is, though, Jason, all they need is 1. It's going to be that push into the side. Get Right is ready and waiting again. He's going to start things off from above. He rains down 2. In fact, a third for Get Right. A big step up in this round and leaves Veggie alone. Forrest will execute him. We really are seeing this happening now. 3 rounds the difference. Virtus Pro showed nothing there.
Get Right, been coined a very emotional player. Always has a negative connotation when you talk about that, but if you can't forget about the positive, when he's hitting shots, he's riling up his team, he's getting them ready, he's getting them going. And right now he's helped get them within a 3-round grasp of tying up this match. A quick play out of VP to get down towards Secret, to get down towards lower. And Rez might be feeling under the weather now, but needs to hit these shots. That's a lot of control given to VP to take this position.
Oh no. They're trying to just burn Plopsky out. They don't know where Rez is though. He's picked up the first within this round. They still have Molotovs, but the bomb's dropped. Now he looks to step up, enforced out the angle. He still gets the kill before he dies. Leaves it onto Snacks, it can't be done. 15-13. 8 rounds in a row for the Ninjas in Pajamas. Virtus Pro don't even have the money. They could risk it. The question is it worth it? Or do they leave it all down to 1? But everybody's risen up. Everybody's getting behind the hype that Get Right's bringing, the shots that Forrest are hitting. And now all the pressure swings. Sure, 1 round is all it takes, but that 1 round seems massive when you've lost this many in a row.
looks like we're going to see the buyout for Virtus Pro. You can see Mihu with the AK. They want this victory, and they want it now, but NIP have not let go of control of this map anymore. Grasping it until they get that overtime. And here we go. Round number 29. As NIP have been on the back foot this entire match on Nuke. Can they continue this pace? And Forrest gonna kick things off, and he says, yes, we can.
Player did make it into the vents, though.
That's the bomb as well.
Yeah, they're going to be able to rotate down towards the B side. Lekro should know this. Plopsky's already waiting. The bomb will be planted. That's at least some money for Virtus Pro going forward. However, this round's not happening. There's no chance. PHR, the only one left. He's left in a 1 versus 4 to try and clutch this out, and it's not even going to be close. 15-14. It's down to 1 for the Ninjas in Pajamas. Okay, sure, Virtus Pro are going to have everything. They can have as many orbs as they want. They can purchase auto snipers. They can do anything in this round. The fact is, though, it's been 9 in a row. What do you do here?
You say they can do anything, but the question is, can they win this round? They've tried upper. They've tried lower. They've been told no. It's been their game to lose. It's been their match to lose here on Nuke, on map point and match point for such a long time. But it feels like that magic is returning here on Nuke. NIP 1 round away from overtime. They've been on a massive streak, everyone stepping up when they needed it. But will they close this out and continue the run? Or will they be going home?
Oh, Plopsky rounds the corner. He doesn't know that they're that far forward. This could be catching him out. He does a lot of utility damage in return, but even still, that's the opener they needed. Trades galore. Get right. He's made it towards. He's made it down. The bomb's still yet to make it forward. Do they know he's in this corner? In fact, both players are on B. They could go back. They could go over on towards this A site. It would be a tough retake if they did. And actually, they double back around. They've been spotted towards the vent. PHR gets stuck, but not finished off. And now they have all the information they need. The question is, can they do anything about it? It looks like they're going to try and burst their way up. Nate goes down with a little bit of damage, but not enough to kill off this player, and now the bomb's ticking.
Get right, trying to run back as quick as you possibly can. Forrest with the Deagle and the AK. 25 seconds left, and finally Virtus Pro have been able to get the bomb down. They've been able to get it set up in a position that they can defend. The crowd is cheering. The moment comes in. Forrest gonna get his head clean, taken off. Get right, can't close it out, and Snacks will finally get Virtus Pro their victory at 16-14 and move into the semifinals.
They made everybody sweat 9 rounds in a row, and it's the very last one that they take, but they have made it through to the semifinal. That's got to be heartbreaking for NIP. They did everything to fight back. Like 15-5, this was looking like a stomp. This was looking like there was no fight left in the Ninjas in Pajamas, and you have to give them props for being able to rally. Unfortunately for them, it just wasn't quite enough. And Virtus Pro, well, that's one hell of a statement to make going into the semifinals.
One hell of a team to see here as well in Hungary. They started off the tournament with a loss, but have been able to fight back and get through now to the semifinals against Mouse Sports, but their road will continue, and their path to victory will become more difficult as time goes on. And Tom, what a way to kick off the quarterfinals. We still have a second one to come up next, but we could have asked for a better start.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, let's head down to the stage with Red Eye, who has Kuban to talk about that last match.
Thank you very much, yes. Cuban, great crowd here for both teams as well. Lots of great shouting for NIP and great stuff for you guys, all the VP Ultras down here as well. That was a very nervous second game on Nuke, like 9 games in a row. How do you compose the team?
We are known for like having 15 rounds and giving the advantage to the opponent and finishing in the last round. this is what people like. This is what people like to watch, and this is why we are one of the most loved teams in the world, right?
Because you do it on purpose now.
Say again?
You're doing it on purpose now.
I wouldn't say so, but hopefully we have won. Like, they were really good, and we know that Nuke is their best map. But we prepared very well, and thankfully we are in the semifinals.
Yeah, what does it mean to the boys? Because this is a very young team now, isn't it? It's a very different team from the team that you coached a few years ago. What is it like for them reaching semifinals? How important is it to the team?
Yeah, lineup is completely different comparing to last year when we were playing in the final against Mouse Sports. I mean, that's probably huge for them, but I'm really happy, I'm really proud of them, and I think we can go to the final once again.
Okay, you still think that's possible here?
Of course.
Okay, what do you want to say to these guys down here that were very passionately cheering for you?
Yeah, I would like to thank them for cheering for us, and this side for cheering for NIP. This was a great show. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Kevin. Ladies and gentlemen, Virtus Pro are through to the semi-finals. Don't forget, for those of you here at V4, you can go and meet both Virtus Pro and Ninjas in Pyjamas at the meet and greet zone right here at V4 as well. And also, for those of you at home as well as here, a little surprise for you before the next match as well. But enough of that and enough of me. Let's head over to the experts on the panel and find out what they made of series number 1, quarterfinal number 1.
Thank you very much, Paul. Yes, a couple of secrets, in fact, and surprises in the next match. Perhaps the biggest surprise was that NIP came so close after 8 map points and still felt shy. Yona, Jacob, welcome back to the desk. That was not the series, not the 2-0 we predicted, but there was a lot to talk about nonetheless.
Yeah, I think first and foremost you got to give credit to VP for playing a good game. I think on first map they were by far the superior team. On Nuke they were a set superior up until the point 15-5, right? They had 10 match point and they were only able to clinch the very last one. So NIP, they fought back, they did a valiant effort here, but going down 2-0 to a team like VP, who currently is not a team to be, feared by any margin or any means, is simply not good enough. NIP, they have to get back to the drawing board. They have to reinvent this lineup because this is not working.
It's a difficult proposition as well. You got to think there's some pressures in the organization right now as well. It's going to be, I almost feel like the player's obligation in some ways in doing so. So we'll see if they can recover. Do you look at Virtus Pro and think that they've maybe recovered some of the group stage issues, or was there signs of weakness still?
When you went 2-0 in that fashion, obviously they kind of faltered a little bit on that second half. Nuke, obviously 15-5 up, and then you almost let it slip away. Looked good until at that point. Individually speaking, they were playing really good on mid rounds. I think it's for them, obviously, with the lack of experience they have with this lineup. Each game they play, I feel like they're going to improve upon, and they should do. I mean, they'll have more material to go by. They'll have one more experience in each map, right? So I think, obviously they're going to be facing a much, much more prepared opponent coming up next in the semis. So
yes,
that might be a little bit too much for them at this point in time.
And they do play Mouse Sports, for those of you wondering at home. That's what waits for them tomorrow. It was a fun crowd. There was a bit of divide. Sure. Poland is part of the V4 union, so that's a bit interesting as well. So they should have some sort of home advantage perhaps in this audience now that NIP is gone, legendary elite team lineup. I've got to look back at that 15th round, because I think that highlighted some of the issues. Lack of communication on NIP's side. First and foremost, Plopsky peeks out, doesn't know they're already downstairs, gets caught, and then Get Right clears control while his teammate was doing the same, and they concede vents as a result of it, which ultimately allowed the rotation to go back.
Feels like a bit of tunnel visioning there, obviously, and a lack of communication, which kind of goes hand in hand, right? And those are the type of things. I think that's one of the basic elements of Nuke. It comes down to really, really good rotation and communication on that CT side. Obviously, a bit of maybe unlucky timing to an extent for Plopsky, but
sure,
you have to earn your luck.
Absolutely.
It's hard to highlight just one round, and put it all on that one round, right? Lack of communication, lack of basically anything. But the biggest thing for me in regards to this NIP lineup is the fact that they lack leadership. They lack somebody who can take this lineup, to the next level. We even talked about it backstage. Res, a guy that by many was seen as one of the most talented individuals within the Swedish scene, a potential star player on the world scene as well. Mm-hmm. He's not performing right now. And yes, of course, a big part of that is him not, doing his job well enough, maybe not playing enough, maybe not feeling it right now, but it also comes down to what team he's playing for right now. He's not feeling comfortable, he's not feeling catered to, he's not feeling elevated by his teammates. And when you have such a good player on your lineup that is not performing, you gotta look around him and think to yourself, what is it we're doing wrong? And the only thing that I can see with 100% certainty, or say with 100% certainty, is that they lack leadership on this lineup. They lack somebody to elevate this lineup, because they have the skill, they have the potential, but losing to VP 2-0 like this, simply unacceptable.
I tend to agree.
Yeah, I mean, psychology is such a massive part of a game of Counter-Strike. If you're not there 100% mentally, you're not going to be able to perform anywhere near to your full potential. Any team in that type of a situation where they've been in for the last 3 months, basically, I mean, obviously, we talked about this previously. When you're a professional, you're still getting paid full salary. You're still supposed to be playing 100%, but it's not easy. It's just super hard to maintain that focus and keep on doing like nothing's going on.
And it's not that we don't understand it, right? Because as you said as well, Matt, there's so much stuff going on behind NIP right now with the whole scandal, with the whole, basically anything
West,
that involves...
in probe at this point, investigation.
There's so much stuff going on within the NIP camp. So you can feel for the players. You can understand why they may not have full focus on the game. But as you said, it is their job. And they are playing for their careers as well. If NIP goes down now, if this was the last tournament that we saw Get Right play for NIP, which I kind of think it could have been, then where does Lekra go from here? Where does Get Right go from here? Where does Plopsky potentially even go from here, right? There's so much on stake right now, so despite all this fuss going around NIP, they still need to play for their lives, and I didn't see that today.
No, I would have thought this event should have been a perfect shape-up. Again, we touched on it. The major was a catastrophe. It was not ideal by any means. Golden was there for the sake of being there because he was available. He didn't get utilized. They didn't really practice necessarily with him. Plopsky was at the major but not playing. There was a lot of things going on there. I would have thought this event they would have focused firmly on to take that step forward.
There's a couple teams in tournament. Something we discussed in our green room in a tent about was that there's a few teams here that think this is a must-win tournament, right? It's MIBR, you have Mouse Sports, and then NIP is kind of on the verge of that also. And from NIP perspective, this could have been the one where this would be a nice way to end the story of this 5-man unit, basically, right? And then obviously help them going further in their careers. And I think going back to that MIBR game previously, what they lost, they were up massively on that Inferno game, right? But they just did not manage to close it out. And MIBR then ran away and just destroyed NIP on Dust 2. If that would have gone the other way, who knows? I mean, it could have been a very, very different storyline here for NIP, but it wasn't meant to be.
Sure, and I'll echo those sentiments. I do want to focus before we get too far off on just the NIP side of this game. There was two teams, and one of them looked much better. One player in particular stood out to me. I thought Mihu looked very good today.
And that's a guy who we 2 years ago were highlighting as one of these young prospects winning the VP camp. When VP were at their best, when they were winning tournaments, and then all of a sudden started to fall down, people were pointing towards Mihu. Why don't you bring in this guy? Why don't you change Tess, get some fresh blood into the lineup? This kid had a lot of skill. They weren't doing that, in time, dare I say it. They brought him in at the very last stage, and he was being brought in to fail, right? There was no way of that succeeding because it came too late. But this kid had a lot of talent. He has a lot of talent, and he's showcasing that now. It has been a little bit lackluster for him in VP, dare I say, because I think he has potential to much more than he's showing right now. Sort of similar with Riz as well in NIP. This player is a player that I believe, as do I believe with Riz, can be a star player on pretty much any given team in the world. He just needs somebody to elevate him. He needs somebody to cater to him and a team that can work around him. And seemingly, it starts to look like VP is that team for him now.
I thought Veggie as well, again, I mentioned it on Mirage, looked pretty solid. I think that there was some positives in that. The good news for Virtus.pro is that they are building into this tournament, and they'll play tomorrow on this stage versus Mouse Sports. We're not done for today, though. As Paul hinted, we've got some surprises coming up for everyone in the arena, as well as you at home. And that means one more matchup as well. Tricked, who are the dark horse by many of our opinions in this event, will go up against the team that we didn't know much about. Another Polish side, Avokotsik. Both of them vying for a place in the semifinal versus MIBR. When we come back with V4 Future Sports, that's where we head. We'll see you then.